Welcome back out to the historic cottage project on this kind of gloomy morning in the aftermath of what we got from the remnants of Hurricane Helene. Just cloudy today, but it was really windy and rainy yesterday considering how far inland we are in St. Louis. And as you can see from the last time we were here, the outside's not too different, but we're coming around back today and we are going to remove all of this concrete mess back here and old foundation and what have you. So got the equipment here, got a mini excavator with a breaker, and we got our 266 Bobcat out here. So hopefully this breaks up nice and easy. We're gonna find out. We have no idea what's actually under these piers here, how deep it goes. So that'll be fun to find out. But for a quick second, we're gonna toss it back into the past about 2 weeks because we got a little bit of rear porch here to break up still. And then we'll pop back to present day in just a couple minutes. Well, just like the top was here, the bottom is an amalgamation of things built up over time. So some paneling, some insulation, some studs, some rando stuff like that. And we had left these posts in just as a little bit of an extra measure, even though we knew the roof could support itself. But turns out they weren't really doing anything anyway. That's just open space under that, so it doesn't really matter. One of them just fell out, but you can see the original frame here, although that's been hacked on at some point as well. So just kind of post and beam construction around. And then up here remains, and if you didn't see our video of taking apart this upper part, it was a lot of fun. That's a few videos back. Go check it out. Just a whole lot of glorious destruction. So this chunk is already out. You can see the remains down there, among other demolition debris that has recently come out. And once this is finished up, I can get a dumpster out here, get it all cleaned up. So this end looks to be coming apart pretty easy. Just a little bit of cutting and some hammering and come out in chunks. If it'll slide out, there we go. Swing, bada 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 bada.
She's not moving.
Watch out. Yeah, there's a hard hat in here.
I saw it coming.
Watch yourself. Good thing it's got a nice soft pile to land on.
Yeah. This one doesn't want to let go.
Well, there were 4 nails up there. Always watch for the rebound.
Heavy.
There were like 6 nails holding that. Down she goes.
Clear span.
Well, we're getting things started out here. The breaker may be a little loud, but it's definitely quick. And I like quick. So I got my brother Nick helping me out here. He's an operator. I could fumble around with this, but he's a lot better than me, so bring the help in. This flat work shouldn't take much. It looks a little bit thick, but no problem for the breaker.
Apparently there's a skinny guy on here.
Well, that can't possibly be. Skinny people don't run equipment. I'm kind of getting the sense that it's broken.
Second machine I've run last week.
going in that spot.
That's hollow over there.
What?
Hollow over there.
Sewer line sucked it up, maybe? Now they got bar in here. Alright. Sewer must come out here.
That's what I'm thinking. It's settled. Caved in.
Yeah, it's probably broken. Yeah, that's.
Years worth of.
This is. Well, we're moving along, getting things broken up. Had a little snafu here with the wet ground. Got the Bobcat stuck on the slope, dug itself in on the tracks. The tracks are great, but they're not perfect, so we're gonna keep working through. There's also a big hollow void right in the middle out there. Probably sewer line problem. Sewer's getting replaced anyway, so we're gonna find out when we uncover it. But breaking up pretty quick. So a bit of a realignment on the plan here. We're not going to drive over that void for obvious reasons. So I'm going to get in there, see if we can scoop it up, kind of see what we got going, and meanwhile Nick will keep breaking in the middle there. Alright, well that appears to be the answer of how far do these go in the ground, and yeah, not far. So we know what we got here. It's not a sewer problem. It's actually an old cistern. It's round, made of brick. Looks like it was filled at one point and then it just settled. So we will probably just fill it back up again and pack it down because nobody needs it now and not like it's gonna be usable since it's already filled. So one mystery solved. Moving along on all of that. So we did notice there's some rebar in the concrete just over this spot, and that's probably why they put it there. They knew the cistern was there, but they knew it was going to settle. So the bar actually held it up over time. We're just doing clean fill dumpsters here. We don't have a dump truck, of course. So this for this project, and I'm trying to record this and operate with one hand. This is just fine for this project. Clean fill dumpsters are relatively affordable and they don't have a weight limit, just a size limit. So easy way to go. They just drop it off. We have it for the time that we need and then they come pick it up. So this one actually had a bit of a footing. Maybe the rest of them had that and it just broke off, or maybe only this one had it. We're gonna find out soon enough. Well, we got the main section out here all broken up in those big concrete piers. You can see the rebar tangled up there. So we'll get this all loaded out, working around that cistern. That's kind of slowing us a little because I could have been in here getting this all as it went. But oh well. Once that's cleared out, we can get the area that is under the old and what will be the new porch. So we'll get the track loader fired up and get this loading out. We've had in the past week, or a little less than a week, give or take 4 inches of rain. So ground is pretty soft at this point, and we got that bit of a slope there. So that's our only little wrinkle with the ground conditions besides the cistern. So each of those bins is 15 yards and we can fill them to the top. So we're getting basically the equivalent of a tandem axle dump truck out of each of those. I don't know if 2 is going to be enough, but it was a good starting point. We know it's going to be at least that much. That looks like he's stuck in the same problem I had. Well, that was a nice big scoop. I got the bucket on now. Do a little bit of cleanup with that. Ground conditions are what they are. we could wait, but we've waited long enough and this needs to get done. So work with what we got. That is definitely the difference between doing it every day and doing it every once in a while. I'd be fumbling around, I'd be getting stuff done eventually, but not with any smoothness, not with any efficiency. So when you can get somebody skilled to help out, take it. with the tight conditions and the ground not being great, it's been working out pretty well. Scooping from where it is, and I've been running the Bobcat in and out, picking up what's dumped and then just loading right into the bucket otherwise. So Nick can keep moving all of the debris over there, and I can continually load it out once I get a full bucket. And we don't have to move through the wet ground nearly as much that way. And of course here we were going to need to use the mini excavator anyway, because that is the cistern opening right there. We worked all around it, now we got to deal with it. The very first time we ever removed concrete back in December of 2011, I believe, we needed to get a bunch of concrete out of my backyard to get my new sewer line installed. We rented a mini excavator, and Nick was insistent on a thumb back then. Not the experienced operator that we have nowadays that can just scoop it up and make it look so easy. And looks like I am just about full here, so get started back up and get it dumped. That's most of the concrete that was on top of the cistern. You can see the top was broken off when they built the previous stuff here. Would have come to a much smaller hole with a hatch. We can get a better look at the cistern before we knock it all in. So they would build basically a brick tank, and then the top came in, as you can see, and that would hold water. And who knows when they stopped using it, but it was filled in quite a while ago because all this concrete's been here for a while. And when they filled it, definitely wasn't compacted, so over time, as water got to it and just time alone, it compacted itself down. So we will do a good job of compacting it after we knock the rest of the top off here. So we don't want that sinking again for the next owner. But at this point, We can get started on the concrete up there, and that's all we got left. So our loading wasn't the most efficient as expected on a space manner. So use the excavator to knock it down into the sides, fill the voids, get our maximum space possible. Because they allow us to fill the full space, we will use the full space. Which means we can get a little bit more in here. We don't want to overload it. It is going to be heavy. We don't want them to yell at us for overloading. We don't want to be those people. But, you know, we had a decently high mound in the middle, and now it's all knocked down, flattened out. So, good, you know. That's enough space for 2, 3 more, maybe even more buckets from the Bobcat in each. So take what we can get because we're pretty close to done and we need just a little bit more space, and I think we probably got it. This kind of brick and dirt debris we have here is great for filling the cistern because it packs well, takes up space, and that was already what was in there anyway. So get that packed down nice and tight and then top it with dirt, and that may get dug through anyway when the new sewer line is put in pretty soon. So, you know, we'll do a good job now because we don't want it to sink, but you know, it may get dug up a little bit later anyway. That's not a big deal. That'll get packed back down when the sewer goes in, and this all gets regraded after that anyway. We don't know what the footing situation is here. It really varied back then whether there was anything wider than the foundation itself, so we're going to be ginger around it. Just better safe than sorry, of course. Does look to be pulling away pretty easy, so that's nice. And that little bit of concrete they had run up is just coming right off, so I think we got a pretty good situation going here. So it is basically just a rat slab across this front part. Don't even have to put the breaker back on, which is kind of nice. Just popping it up with the bucket. So we're about, I don't know, 2/3 of the way across there. A little more to do here, but working out nicely still. Just scooping with the excavator, loading it in the skid steer bucket, and then going right over to the dumpsters, which are going to have just enough room. But just enough is great. You can see it's pulling up in pretty big pieces, but only 2 to 3 inches thicker, so Nice scoop. Alright, I'm gonna have to get back in to dump. So that's the last of the slab there, pulling back just a little bit more up against the building under that piece of OSB. And it looks like there was a pipe under that piece. So those pipes don't go to anything anymore, so not a problem. This is getting all new plumbing pretty soon. There was some clay pipe out here, some cast iron pipe. Cast iron was pretty rotted away. There was a half piece lengthwise in the last bucket load. And we'll see how this pulls away. Be nice if that last section comes out as a big chunk. Oh, pretty close. And looks like I got room for at least one more scoop. We can definitely get that piece. Alright, time to dump. Well, while we got equipment here, we're going to get 4 holes dug here where we need to put piers in for the new covered back porch. This will make them a little bigger than we need, but that's fine. We'll put the tubes in and then backfill around them. But this sure is a lot easier than coming back and hand digging. Even in loose ground, this sure beats that. And with looks like some stones and stuff down there, yep, definitely easier this way. We got our 4 pier holes for the porch dug in a matter of minutes instead of hours. That's nice. So we're just gonna clean up a little bit here, kind of level, smooth, not really overdoing it because this needs to dry. The plumber's gonna come through and dig a trench for the sewer lateral. We're probably gonna need more material to actually grade this off properly, so you know, make it look nice, but we don't have to over improve it quite yet. We'll get that on the finish grade. And it really is sloppy in there. That's what about 4 inches of rain does. But we got it done, so that's all that really matters. So we'll see what this looks like in a few minutes. Actually, it doesn't look bad out here, all things considered, after smoothing it out a little bit. Just got our mounds because we'll need those for backfill. And like I said, definitely going to need more material once the grading plan is figured out for up here, because as it is now, there's a negative slope. So they may need to put in a drain at what will be the door there, which should be easy since the new sewer lateral will be going in. And then each side either needs to grade up to that, or maybe a retaining wall. That is probably the more expensive option. So maybe not that, but once everything's in place here, that can get figured out. See how much topsoil we actually do need to add. But that's for a little bit later. That wraps things up for the fun here today. Next thing we're back for is the porch that we mentioned. Get these holes inspected. We can get the concrete in place and get that going. Probably depends on the timing of the plumber a little bit, but I think that's supposed to be coming this week. So things are moving along, and then the siding can get on and everything else will look nice. So hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. We'd really appreciate a like and a subscription if you haven't already done so. Hopefully we have some more fun with our equipment coming up. Doesn't come quite often enough as far as I'm concerned. So again, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.